What's up? This is Shadowrunner coming at you live from Nebula Realms with a massive announcement on December the 4th. Which is a Monday, and the developers have announced that Nebula Realms will be closing forever on December the 11th, 2023. After a long 7-year run, Nebula Realms is finally shutting its doors, and this is legit, all coming straight from the developers. This is not a hoax. This is not a rumor. This is true. Sadly and unfortunately. Um, and that's blowing up in the Facebook group, the communities on the internet, in the game itself. People are talking about it. You know, it's blowing up everywhere, man. You got a lot of salty people, and you knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. You know, you got a lot of salty people. Y'all are gonna have to deal with now. And because the developers have essentially done what Sony did with PlayStation Home, and they said at the very beginning, back in what 2015, uh, this was way before Nebula Realms was even in development. You know, they were doing community chats with people on PlayStation Home before it closed. And they gave us a rainbow of hope and promise, and they promised they wouldn't do this shit. They promised they would not do the same thing Sony did. And by reassuring us, this is where the PC/Steam port came from. In case something ever happened on the PlayStation side of things and Sony decided to pull the game, or whatever reason, it shuts down on the Sony side, on the PlayStation side, it's still functional and operational and playable on the PC side. It was a plan for continuity in case this shit happens again. In case, something happens on the PlayStation side and it shuts down, you can always go to the PC and play it over there on Steam. That was to alleviate, a lot of people's concerns, because we just got fucked over by Sony, 7, 8 years ago, by them doing the same thing. And a lot of people wanted assurance that wasn't going to happen again. And they basically just lied to us, So you're going to have a lot of salty people. That's what the PC port was supposed to be there for. It was supposed to be for continuity, so that the game can continue on in case something should happen. And they pulled that right out from under us. So, I feel like that's a little betrayal there. You're, like I said, I don't know. It could be a while before we get another developer, that does another virtual world. That we get another virtual world like this. Who knows? It could be years before we get something else like this. But I'll tell you one thing. People are going to remember this just like they remembered what Sony did to Home. Your hardcore fans are going to remember this. Your cheerleaders who cheered for this game and cheered for PlayStation Home are going to remember this. And when the next developer decides they want to do a virtual world, oh, we don't have enough money, we want to do a Kickstarter, good luck with that shit. You got a lot of people that's been burnt twice now by two different corporations, two different companies. You're not going to see a lot of people pony up with cash this time around. Don't expect a successful Kickstarter with the next game that comes out. It ain't going to happen. The next developer, unfortunately, is going to have to earn the trust of a lot of people now, because a lot of people feel burnt on what the developers have done. Now it is understandable. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand nothing lasts forever. That's something that a lot of people need to understand. Everything has its expiration date. Everything has its shelf life. Everything, will end sooner or later, including you and me, all of us. Everything ends sooner or later. Um, and that's fine. I understand that. But it could have remained in service indefinitely. When you see games like Second Life on PC that is 20 years old now and still running, still operational, still functional, still receiving updates and content updates. 20 years old. That game is still going strong, y'all. People sleeping on Second Life, but at least it's still here, you know? Um, so yeah, I mean, they could have at least, at the bare minimum, they could have fixed the existing bugs in the game so that it's at least decent. And then, don't issue any more content updates, and just leave it on the servers, leave it running on the servers. And if the servers go down, if the game crashes, just, come back in the office to push a button every now and then to, bring the servers back online. And that's it, just keep the game on fucking life support indefinitely. And, I mean, if you got Second Life running 20 years on PC, why the hell can't Nebula Realms run another 5 or 10 on the PlayStation? I'm just saying, but whatever. So there's that, and like I said, I saw it coming a while back when a lot of my videos started going negative, which was a complete 180 for me because I used to be Nebula Realm's biggest cheerleader. I was the first community advisor to ever be recruited in the program. And I cheerleaded hard for this game. I stayed up, late nights on this game, interacting with the community and stuff, doing stuff in the background, stuff that the community never got to see and stuff like that. I sacrificed did my days off from work, working on things and stuff. I put 4 years as a CA into this game. And I don't regret any of it. I don't regret any service I did for the game. I don't regret any service I did for the players or the community. I don't regret any of my time on the game. I don't think there was ever anything wrong with the game itself. Nebula Realms had a ton of potential. You know, to me, as far as I'm concerned, all the ingredients were there. They had all the ingredients to make a really good virtual world, or at least a decent successor to PlayStation Home. Uh, they just didn't. They just didn't pull it off, I guess. The avatar creation system in the game wasn't perfect. It definitely needed a rework. It definitely needed, stuff added. It definitely needed, some love in that department. But as far as avatar creation in general goes, um, I believe in comparison to the other virtual worlds, except for PlayStation Home, I believe it was the best. We had the best avatar creator in all three of the virtual worlds: Nebula Realms, Out of Universe, Four Kings. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I like a true avatar, creator will let you go in and edit and modify like everything, like your cheekbones, your chin, your nose, facial features, your ears, your breasts, big boobs, small boobs, your ass, big cheeks, you want that Nicki Minaj ass, whatever, you know what I mean? Now, if your avatar creator system does not allow for that or does not do that, then it sucks. I'm sorry. I'm saying it just like that. It sucks. You know. Sorry if that offends anyone in Adam Universe. Sorry if that offends anyone in Four Kings Casino. But that's how I like my avatar creation, my creator system. I like to, full in depth. I want to be able to mess with every feature, everything. I don't like these Adam and Eve cookie cutters that you can dress up with different accessories. That just didn't cut it for me, man. But that's just me. That's just my tastes, my preferences, my opinions. But, one thing Adam Universe had over Nebula Realms is they had a better game engine. You know, a lot of people say there's no difference between Unity and Unreal. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. You know, I've seen plenty of games made in Unity. I've seen plenty of games made with Unreal. There is a difference. Anyone saying that there's not, it's full of shit. They're lying to themselves and they're lying to you. You know, that's where Zalek Studios should have started in the first place. Nebula Realm should have been built on the latest Unreal Engine at the time. You know, I'd love to see it rebuilt in Unreal 5 on the PlayStation 5. Which is another thing. Nebula Realms never got updated to the PlayStation 5. You know, so many missed opportunities here. This game could have been in 4K, could have been in 60 frames per second. It could have had all your DualSense features in the game. It could have had your haptic feedback and all that. They could have added those into the game. So many missed opportunities. These developers just did not take advantage of. Yeah. I would like to say, it's been a great 7 year run. I almost forgot it's been 7 years, you know. Then when you look back and you think about it, PlayStation Home ran for 7 years and it closed at the end of March 2015. And Nebula Realms launched in 26. Well, its original launch was in 2016. And I guess we're closing in 2023. So about the same amount of time. But yeah, anyone that's been, paying attention, like, here's the thing. Anyone remember back in March of this year, spring, around the end of March? Anyone remember what happened then? A game called Big City Stories, made by Hellfire Games, closed its doors, closed down. A lot of people may not know what that is, but it was another virtual world knockoff like Nebula, Adam Universe, Four Kings. It was kind of like the weakest of them all, in my opinion. You know, they tried to do like a city with avatars, and it just didn't quite work. It was a good attempt, though. You know, but the developer was Hellfire Games, um, who used to be a third-party content creator for PlayStation Home. And I don't even know. I don't even know how long Big City Stories ran. A few years, maybe. Uh, they probably just didn't get enough traffic. You know, their player base was probably very small. You know, and they on March 31st of 2023 this year, they announced they were shutting down and closing their doors, and that was my first red flag. You know, that's when I saw, uh-oh, here we go. You know, and I maybe I was in denial. I didn't want to believe it, but I kind of figured, I was like, it's only a matter of time before Nebula Realms is next. You know, and here we are. So I'm just going to, do a little, 7-year review on the game, just talk briefly about it, my opinions and stuff. I'm just going to go off on a little soapbox rant. There's really nothing specific to talk about here. I was going to do an end of year review video. I was just going to wait to the end of the year to do a video. But after hearing the news and hearing that Nebula is shutting down on the 11th, that moved my schedule up. So now I'm doing my end of the year video today. But let's talk about red flags for a minute. I said Big City Stories closing at the beginning of the year, around springtime. March 31st was my first red flag, and it was. But then there were other red flags too. If you're watching and paying attention, you saw bugs were not getting fixed in the game. In fact, we were getting more bugs. The damn square button, this hilarious fucking square button, still 2 years now. What are we on? 2 years? This square button hasn't been fixed. You know, that's your first clue. Is they gave up on the basic maintenance of the game. They stopped fixing bugs. You know, um, there's that. And then they decided to drop third-party support altogether. Who did we have? We had Juggernaut. Cepheus. I know we had at least Juggernaut and Cepheus. But anyway, the goal here, the fucking idea is to add third-party developers to your game, so that you have a wide variety of content. And also, it takes a lot of the pressure off of you, the primary developer, to create the content so that you can focus on other things. It's a gigantic step backwards to drop third-party content, to drop third-party developers. Just be like, nah, dog, we're gonna create all the content ourselves. We got this. We're good. Like, yeah, that was a red flag for sure. You know, there were spaces teased that never came out. There was supposed to be a new version of Leaf Park, never came out. I think even Cepheus was working on a public space or something, never came out. There were features that were never added to the game. We never got clubs. We never got clubhouses, club support. We never got any of that. Trophies were never added to the game. Trophies were never even added to the game. So yeah, it definitely feels like we had a good couple of years. The first 2 years, Nebula came out back in what 2017. If you count going from the relaunch, we had a good couple of years. You know, it was an exciting time to be a part of Nebula Realms. It was just brand new. Things were, you know, getting going. Things were getting added to the game. New features, new content. You know, updates were happening. Communication was happening. The developers were communicating with the community. The community manager was communicating with the community. The CAs were communicating with the community. You know, everything was clicking and popping. It was a great time to be on Nebula Realms. And then shit just fell off. You know, the game got stale. Content updates became far and few, few and far between. You know, seasonal events got stale. The game got stale. And they added a movie theater in the game where you could go and sit in there and watch, movies, and that was an epic fail. Because nobody fucking wants to watch movies from 1929, man. You know, these free license movies. Like, look, I know damn well there's a way that you can embed a YouTube player in a fucking video game because Second Life does it. Other applications do it. Other software programs do it. I know it can be done. I know it can be done. You can embed a YouTube player in a movie theater, a virtual movie theater, and watch anything off of fucking YouTube, music videos, TV shows, whatever, And I believe it's free use. You don't have to petition to YouTube to get the license or the rights to use this shit. It's free use. Unless I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, then my bad. But yeah, that was my idea. Like, if I was to pitch an idea to the developers as far as a movie theater, you know, I would say, implement a YouTube player because YouTube's got like a bunch of shit on it anyway, a lot of free content. You can look up anything. And each individual person would be watching their own each individual thing, you know, which I guess would suck if everybody wanted to watch the same thing, but that's just my idea. But yeah, nobody wants to watch old black and white shit from, fucking 40, 50 years ago, man. Yeah. I'll tell you what happened. What happened was, look, Nebula Realm was supposed to be a successor to PlayStation Home in spirit, but it didn't quite make it. And the reason why is because PlayStation Home was backed by Sony, a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So they had pockets, they had money, they could do whatever the hell they wanted, And PlayStation Home was originally supposed to be a software application for marketing and advertising. Anytime they wanted to advertise their Clearasil or fucking Toyota or Slim Jims, what the fuck ever goofy ass thing they wanted to advertise, that's how they did it. You know, it was originally supposed to be for marketing and advertising. Um, with avatars, they created a social virtual world around marketing and advertising, their products in a sort of virtual social world, basically, is what it was, and, they kept up with the basic maintenance, they kept the bugs down to a minimum, they kept up with the content updates. They were consistent with the updates. Every week they had an update, you know, they had seasonal events. Every season, you had an event. You had your Valentine's Day events, your St. Patrick's Day, your Turkey Day, fuck 4th of July Day. Halloween was always popping. Christmas was always popping. And they were consistent with it every year. They had something new every year. PlayStation Home was always doing shit. Every week you had a content update. Every week you had something new. There was a new space, new public space every season. It was like new shit, new shit. They kept the people coming back for more. They kept the player base coming back. They kept them engaged. They kept them interested. They kept them entertained. And Zalek Studios just could not do that with Nebula Realms. I don't know why. Maybe they just didn't have the money. I don't know. You know, it is sad to see it go, though. You know, because I was a fan. I mean, I kind of still am a fan. I mean, I don't hate the game. I had a lot of fun in the game. I made a lot of friends. I had some friendships. I had some relationships. I met a lot of cool people. I made a few enemies. I spent a lot of time in wardrobe. That was one of my favorite things is wardrobe. I love putting outfits together. And then the color glitch, I'm glad they never patched that because that was probably the most entertaining thing in the game to play with was the color glitch. Glitching out your clothes. Yeah, as you can see, like on my avatar, I've got it all glitched out black. It's not supposed to be, you know. But, that's a result of not having any fucking thing to do on here. I mean, people find color glitches. Like, at least it's fun. Yeah. And, I bought personal spaces, man. Look at all the spaces. I got the original home, studio apartment, greenhouse, waterfall, star crawlers, blue wave, dressing room, cutterage, moonlight, Le Chalet, lake apartment, woodland clearing, the Nebulan, Sorcerer's Eyrie, dead quarters, Holly Ridge, Whispering Hills Mansion, Cliff apartment, the Crypt, Greek summer house, windmill, remote mansion, Venus, Arabic hotel, cottage summer house. Only spent time in like maybe 3 of them. Only decorated maybe 3 of them. Like this space here, I decorated. You know, the apartment decorator was not too bad. It could have been better. Uh, originally it was planned that we were supposed to be able to save layouts. Like you could decorate a personal space and then have it completely done and finished. And then you could save that layout, right? And then you can redecorate it, clear it, redecorate it a different way, and then save that layout. And then you could be able to switch between different layouts, load different loadouts, I guess. You know, that was originally the plan. And as you can see, that shit didn't happen either. Zalek Studios, dropped the ball on a lot of promises they made, a lot of goals that never got met, a lot of things they said they were going to do that they never did. Another red flag, if you're paying attention, and pay attention to this in the future when the next developer pops up that says, "Hey, we're doing another virtual world. Come fund our Kickstarter." Yeah. Pay attention to this. If a developer refuses to communicate with its player base and its community, that is a red fucking flag. No developer should be doing that. You know, that's when Zalek Studios stopped communicating with its community and player base. That was a red flag to me. You know, it's like what they don't have the time in their day. They can't take 5 minutes out of their day over in Spain to get on Facebook or Twitter and issue a little statement about, hey guys, just a quick heads up, we're aware of the situation and we're working to get a hot fix going. You know, we're working to get a patch out. We're working on something. You know, just, you know what I mean? If you don't care enough to get on social media and at least let your player base, your community know that you are doing something, that you have a patch in the works, or you have content in the works, or you have features planned, or a new revision, or a new remaster coming, or new holiday events, or seasonal events, or something on the horizon. If you are not communicating with your community, that's a red flag. That's not good, you know? And that's especially after, you know, so many people have been begging for information, asking, you know, what's going on? What's going on with the game? What's going on with the bugs? You know, when can we expect a new patch? What's going on with the content? You know, can we get a Q&A with the CAs? Can we get a Q&A with the developers? You know, can we touch base on the next goal or agenda? You know, no. You know, we're just going to cease and halt all communication. That's a red flag, you know? See, there's a difference between people who come on and bitch, you know, review bomb a game just to give it a negative review just because they're haters, just because they don't like the game or what the fuck ever, you know? There's a difference between that and actually coming on here and telling it how it is. This is the truth. This is the honest to God's truth. I'm not lying. I'm not embellishing. I'm not making shit up, you know? And I'm not the only one that feels this way. And we're not wrong for verbalizing it. I've been saying things like this for months, the last 3 or 4 of my videos. I've been ranting about it. Things need to turn around in this game. The developers need to do something, you know? Yeah, I'm beginning to figure out that a lot of these developers are like presidential candidates, you know? They'll tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear, you know, just to get your support. And then once they got you hook, line, and sinker, then they don't make good on anything they said they were going to do, you know? Fucking typical. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that Nebula Realms is closing. You still have a week. According to the developers, it's not closing until December 11th, so you still have a week as of this video. I suggest you spend it with your friends and your loved ones on here and enjoy the time you have left together. Take lots of pictures, take lots of videos, because once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm sure a lot of you are going to migrate to Atom Universe. A lot of you are going to migrate to Four Kings Casino. A lot of you are waiting on GTA 6. A lot, you know, we've been here before. When PlayStation Home shut its doors, everybody went their separate ways. And it looks like we're going to be doing that again. Personally, I myself, I might, hop on over to Four Kings Casino just because I like gambling. And I'm thinking about picking up Second Life on the PC, downloading that, and getting into that. Simply because, like I said, Second Life has been around for 20 years and it's still going. It's still getting basic maintenance updates, basic content updates. It's still getting support. It still has a thriving community, and it's still going strong. So, um, in my opinion, if you want to go to another virtual world that has longevity, that has a long lifespan, I would suggest Second Life by Linden Labs, I believe, are the developers. Linden Labs. It is a lot like PlayStation Home, Nebula Realms, like your basic virtual world, but it's more geared towards adults. It's adult natured, you know. So there's a lot of sexual themes in there that you don't see on PlayStation, you know. So I'll probably be over there making avatars over there, hanging out with people over there. I'll go on Four Kings every now and then, hang out with people over there. But yeah, it's been a long 7 years. Um, it hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been great either. And it's been an honor being a part of this game. It's been an honor being, a CA for this game. I did love and enjoy serving the community and the player base and engaging with people, interacting with people. I made a lot of friends. I'm gonna miss you guys. But anyway, I love you guys. Shadowrunner out.